Welcome to Club Wisdom 8. Finally, the finalized version of the Eternal Saga Ranking 2 is ready. Thank goodness. Okay, so let's quickly go over everything, and I have added many extra points. Not only did I explain if someone's a summoner, I think those are extra things, but I gave extra points regarding Lavia's soul weapon, about the issues with its debuff, another 2 stars, future potential for the flying meta, the 3 stars, Grace's debuff could be useful. So I gave some extra points, and I added I for improved SS's super high potential as well. So there's a few things here, and the paid to wins and stuff from earlier. So a few of the letters are not completely gone, but we're gonna make this come alive now. Okay, so let's explain from D in the bottom left. So D categories. D categories are and remember, this side, if you remember correctly, was for the leader side, so you can only have 4 leaders per team. So the leader side, and this is for the middle one, kind of middle, is for the one that's not the leader, just the normal heroes on your team. And I stuck some whale units that I thought were okay at the time on the right. So the D category, I'm not going to remember all the names, but this one who's useless is a D. She's got the best skin probably in the game, but she's a D, and I'm not even going to talk about her. Dark Halus is a D because at 1 star he's pretty trash, and you need either a lot of money to develop him, because and it's the same with Dark Kurumi. They're trash for free to play players unless you can really get them to 6 star, which tends to cost money, or you have to literally wait for months and months of random pulls to get them. Even the green hero tickets can't get them. Suck. Hate it. But anyway, they're still good, but you know, you gotta stick them down there as well. They need to be punished. We can't keep having this kind of nonsense. Okay, next up we're gonna go to both the whales and the normal hero C ranking. So Dark Kurumi, she's just not showing anything. She's not, you know, for us who have like starred her up and done the best we can with her. Not impressed with what she's doing. I'm not sure why they made her, to be honest. I'm a bit confused, but I'm happy that free to play players don't need to worry about starring her up. Okay, now I must remind you, I think Silpha had another upgrade recently, but I'm not seeing anything. Anna is supposed to have had some upgrade, and I'm still not seeing anything. Like, there's some really trash statistics. Kirk's, okay, early game. This is early game. Kirk's is great, but early game you might want to go with the Amazon one instead, Jenny. So, and then we've got Julia. They've upgraded her soul weapon, I think, or something. They've upgraded something, I remember. And I am an Empire user, so I should be biased and put her up, but she's not that good, sorry. And Grace is very interesting. Grace's debuff could be very useful, but limited to certain situations. Grace could be on certain world bosses. Maybe she's S or SS, but nearly everything she's no good. I put WB for world boss. Okay, that's it, done. Next up, don't worry about the letters, but C's, not many C's good. Yarrow Gash, and Tiffany. Now, maybe Tiffany is better than one thinks, but definitely better for the whales, I'd say. And Yarrow Gash, he's really good, but better for the whales. I mean, I'm using Yarrow Gash, honestly, but I've explained before that I think his faction buffs are pretty useless for what he's buffing. So anyway, let's keep it going. next up is Yaragash had a boost up. These guys all get boost up. If you're a whale, you can make anything better. So I don't need to explain anymore, but still not as great. Let's keep it going. Normal heroes. Now these are, so remember when we start getting up to A's, S's and SS, when you see heroes that work really well normally and they don't need to take up a leader slot, you know these are the best of the best. Keep that in mind. So okay, so we got these going here. We got Baron, we got all these guys. I mean, yeah, what's up with Len? What's up with this new hero Len, who looks really cool and stuff like that, although has a boy's name but is a girl? Honestly, I think it's more of a whale material. I think we need to still watch the faction, that Yacha faction evolve. I strongly feel there are better sword units. That's all at the moment, and it takes too many resources to do well. Now Lena's really good, but she's good as a leader, not necessarily as a normal player, but a soul weapon's nice. Okay, so we continue going. Okay, so this is a very difficult one because of Lass is gonna, I put late. I'm trying to explain. He's super late game, I would say, to be good. The resources are not only in him but in the units he's buffing, and they're the fly units. Even for free to play may never ever get to utilize him to the highest level. And Shamak is only really good at the beginning, unless you never get a Pinaka bow or something. If you never have Pinakas, then you'll always have, if your weapons are really bad, then Shamak may be your best. So that depends. Generally speaking, I'm just going through them. This is like the real level. If you had like a 7-star Dark Kurumi, I would put her as a B. So that's the real level, but it's a late game development, not really worth putting the time in. Arrow is understated, one of the best units to be honest, but more for a whale, I would say. More for a whale. Okay, continuing on, whales. Okay, so these are the A units. You know what? This guy, you know what? Sean. I mean, they have such stupid names. Sean, what a weird name. You know, you can play this game for a year and you realise, like, you still can't get to grips with these names. There should be a name rank and they can all go to D. Now, what's unusual about this one would be Tiffany. Now, you must remember, her soul weapon, now I put a 1, number 1. I would say her soul weapon is the best in the game. I mean, her soul weapon is unbelievable. She is the only one with the ability to confuse. If you know how to utilize it, so to utilize you'd have to manual her. If you're clever with the use of her, she could be the best unit in the game. Now she's only good for a whale, mainly because her confuse I think can reach like 15 seconds at level 15. So it's probably the whale material and you'll have to be very clever at using her. I'm not going to explain how to use her to the whales. You whales can figure it out yourself. Okay, I'm here more to help the free to play. Okay, so next up, and free to play just means even dolphins or those who just don't spend like crazy amounts. Okay, the majority. Next up, the normal. So A's, this is where it's getting technical because a lot of people are using were beasts. I have moved some things around. I think I might have dropped lean down. I can't remember, but and, you know, Aisha's better as a leader, I would say. Karina is a very special one. I mean, for me, I don't use her as a leader always, but sometimes, yeah. But she could go higher. It depends how tanky you've made her, because she can die very quickly, but the lower she goes, the stronger she gets. So you got to think very carefully about Karina. Okay, next up. Now, Creon. I think it's Creon that has a buff for his ultimate. He buffs the spear users. So yeah, so his buff is quite special if you use spears. So he's actually pretty good. Yeah, so I can't remember where I did put him in. He might actually be part of the normal. Anyway, do a check yourself on his ultimate. I still don't use him enough. I'm not happy, but the Koreans like to use him, so think carefully. Drusilla has been buffed up, and I think I raised her. I think she was a B. I've increased her because the latest buff she has to her ultimate is pretty good, actually. Take a look at the stats on her ultimate. It's amazing. But it still can't compete, and it's even messed up more by a new there's a new magician for the Empire, and she's even much better than her. So the new magician for the Empire, yeah. So just because she hasn't been awakened at this time of writing, already I would put her as an S. But you know, we still have better magicians. Now, continuing on about this with this list, I think this guy, the Jackan guy, I barely use him, but he's one of best. I mean, I have used him quite a bit, but I can't even be asked to remember his name at the moment, let alone anything else. I actually call him Killer from Hunter x Hunter, so I give up on him. But he is brilliant for Wales. I'd even go to SS level. If I was a whale, I'd use him all the time, unless I'm using flyers. Now, Kirk's late game A ultimate. The problem is, right, he is S level, but his ultimate is not so good. And I said he should be an A in this category only if you rely on his faction. If you're using his bow archers, then he's SS. So think very carefully about how to use Kirk's for a leader. Next up, so the whale category. Now Cassius is up because at the time of writing, a lot of whales had major investments in cavalry units, and you can't run a cavalry unit without Cassius. So that's the main reason he's there. However, you might be surprised to see Lass is an S unit for a whale. There's a lot of reasons there. I'm not going to get into it, but if you are a whale, you might have to put all your resources into Lass, but you'd have to go for flying units. Think about it, or just wait to see the development of the flyers. And remember, I didn't miss out Arrow. Arrow is S. A lot of people are going to say he's SS. A lot of whales in Korea use him like bread and butter. Arrow is everything. So you know, I understand, and I understand there's a lot more potential to Arrow. Okay, so a lot more potential. So I might say, you know, I would actually add something else to him, but I'm probably not going to at this moment. I mean, SS high potential. I mean, yeah, SS. So I will quickly add that to him. There you go. I'll do it later. Next. In fact, there's no next. I was moving to normal role, but I'll do them all. I'll stick them all together. Dark Alus will just be an S in a normal role. Hard to fit him in. Devs is very special in a normal role because of her debuff. I don't know about Cobbs. Cobbs could be SS. It depends how you use Cobbs. I use Cobbs in everything. In fact, I don't use Cobbs in everything. I use Devs as a leader in everything. So Devs for me is SS as a leader. So because of Devs, she not only heals but does the job that Cobbs does as well of buffing. So Devs is 2-in-1. So I'm very happy. Everything else, Kremhild, you know, early game, and you know, late game it drops off a bit. Kurumi is great. You know those skeletons, they're amazing. She summons. There's only like 3 summoners in this game, so S for summoner. Don't know if I remember to put it on everyone, but okay. Again, Kirk's is really good. He doesn't need a leader position, but there's so many points. I've had to make it very clear. I think Kirk's will be the major controversial choice of this ranking. Some people would claim SS like they use him for everything because P1, he is the stronger, he's the highest DPS in the game. You know, if you use him correctly, he will pull off more than what Mercedes does. So you have to think carefully about how you're going to use Kirks. Okay, so yeah, take that into consideration. On the leader points, you know, Lena, she could be SS because she is it called GR Guild Raid? No, a buff. I'm this B1. She's the so let's learn about B1s. I've added B1 for Lena, B1 for Lass, B1 for Shamak, and B1 for Kurumi. This is a very, very important especially for a beginner to understand. She is the best buffer. Lena is the best buffer for archers. All archers, Lena. Done. Kurumi, buffer, the best one ever, or you could say debuffer, however you want to put it, not on the enemy, but the best buffer for magicians. Done. Lass, at the moment, the best buffer for flyers. Shamak, the best buffer for physical attack. Okay, so, or debuffer, I don't know how you want to put it, but I just put, anyway, anyone with physical attack will do more damage on the boss because of what Shamak does to the boss. So yeah, he debuffs. So, but I'm just putting buff because I can't be asked to change all this again. Now, okay, that's a lot there. Don't forget Ellen. Ellen is very special. Healers are very important. Healing heroes are so much better than healing soldiers by so much. I mean, no comparison. Even Cassius is good as a free to play later on. I would put mid to late game. Cassius isn't good at the beginning, so if you're watching this video, be very careful about using Cassius at the beginning. He might disappoint you big time, so think carefully. We got Karina, but you must remember they're all S, and that makes them very, very important. Very, very important. Okay, we keep it going. Next up, okay, so top for a whale. Alus can be super. Dark Alus super. This guy again is SS. I can't believe I forgot his name. Zakao, Vikal, that's it, Vikal, whatever. Who cares? Stupid names. Names that you would give to your worst enemy's child. Okay, so Sophia, okay, a normal name. Sophia is amazing for a whale. You can have one Sophia and she'll kill your whole arena army. That's the idea of how evil whales are. Okay, next. Yep, I'm SS, but I'm not a leader. What a shame. Okay, now, these normal roles, you've got to take into consideration Sophia is still good as an SS in a normal role. Amazing. Keep that in consideration. I don't know, did I? Yeah, I'm just thinking. Yeah, Tori is 3 in 1, but on normal role, she's 2 in 1. Heal and, whatever else she does, I forgot. Heal some, and I think I include summon as one, but those summons are small, so difficult. But she's still good whether you want to use. She's great as a healer. Oh, she can. I think she can change the enemy into some. I forgot what you call it. Anyway, she does 120 things. So yeah, brilliant. Yeah, Natasha's great. Great. There's someone missing, to be honest. Celiaz is actually missing. Celiaz can actually still be used if you use her soul weapon. So Celiaz would actually be pretty good if she's not a leader. But it takes so long to raise a soldier. So she's very specific. So I'm not including her in this one. I'm including her in the final. So this is the final SS ranking. So Darkalus, late game. It's going to take forever to get to him. Shasha is super important for free to play users. Best magician on the go. Dev's best healer in one respect. Well, compared to Tori's really good, but you can't underestimate what devs can do. But still, Tori is definitely going to be used more. Celiaz, you need her. You know, it was said that at the beginning. I remember people would say, oh, she's only good at the beginning, no good at late game. I still use her all the time. I've never stopped using Celiaz. So, we call her like the zombie raiser. Like people die and then she just raises them. She's the only one who can summon, like bring back the dead. So she's like, yeah, zombie woman. Yeah, I think that's a nicer name. And Sophia, brilliant. You can't go wrong, but I wrote medium, you know, medium game in the middle, but it's more late game. Be careful, it depends how you raise her, but don't put all your energy, don't put everything into her at the beginning, or you will suffer. If you want to put everything into someone, you put it into Mercedes. Mercedes, definitely very good. I put a 2 because she can do like 1v everyone. Do you need a soul weapon for her? Ideally, you should just keep upgrading her with everything over time. But Natasha is super. Do you need a soul weapon for her? It's up to you. At the beginning, maybe not. But if you start investing in more werebeast units, then yeah. I mean, just keep raising everything up. So you gotta look at these SSs as leaders. You gotta look at these SSs as free to play. Wales, you can do whatever you need to do. I wish you the best. Yeah, I'll never compete with a whale, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm still finishing my cup of tea. I'm very proud that the ranking is so much better than the original one, like made a year ago. So this is like, well, nearly a year ago. This is such a great improvement to something so difficult, because you know, everyone has their own faction, their own builds, their own unique collection. So very, very hard to make a ranking. I think I pulled off a much better job. There are many ridiculous rankings for Eternal Saga in Google. You can just type ranking Eternal Saga and they're ridiculous. They're really old, they're out of date. They no real explanation as to why they're at the level they are, based off very old rankings. So I think this is great to help you. Okay, so good luck to new players, medium players and old players. And just to let you know, if you're early game, I would say early game you've probably reached Chaos and you're trying to go past Chaos 19. I think once you pass Chaos 19, you've broken early game. Now that's Chaos 19 in Rudia, the first place. Chaos, so you go from normal to hard to Chaos. Medium game, I would say you break into Astania, the second place, but you do it through hard level and you're pushing on Chaos Rudia further. So medium game, you're probably eventually breaking. You're not only breaking into Astania on hard and getting like maybe to 55 or something like that on hard Astania, you are also getting close to clearing Chaos on Rudia. I would say then the later game is when you are in Chaos Astania, and that's when you know your units have developed not only the power, not only like the defense, but they also have the speed to finish things on time. So keep that in mind about the difference between early, mid and late game. I hope this helps. Write any questions. I'll be putting this on the Discord. Feel free to share. All the best, Club Wisdom 8. Oh, and finally, sorry, let me just add, I'm putting Rika as S. We can't figure out whether she's really good as a fighter or a healer. Like, it's a bit of a weird one. She might be good for a weird kind of mode, a new type of game that will come out in the future. But for now, I'm a bit, I don't know, she's a bit of a sussy baka. That's what I think. Okay, Club Wisdom 8 over and out.
Sussy baka.